Are you manifesting new love into your life? Do you want to meet someone special, or actually do you want to manifest marriage or your life partner? Then this video is for you. This is the only affirmation, and I swear it works to manifest marriage or new love into your life. Now, of course, this video it's not necessarily for people who want to attract a specific person, meaning like someone that you already know and you're trying to manifest them or change a specific person. I have other videos for that, but I wanted to make a video on for people who want to manifest someone they don't know. But I mean, not even like they don't even know who this person is. They don't have any specific person, but they do want to manifest a marriage or a special person in their life. They do want to manifest love. So why not using this affirmation that has worked for me and has worked for so many people that I know, and it really works, and it's taken from Florence Scovel Shin, and I'm going to explain everything on this video. So let's get started. Hello everyone, my name is Naya, and on this channel we talk about the law of assumption, manifestation, metaphysical concept, quantum physics, and so much more. And on Patreon we reiterate this concept to make extra videos and challenges together. I also have a specific course for manifesting a specific person, but for the sake of this video, let's just dive into it. So how to manifest new love, like your divine partner, your divine match. Now, I don't want to instill on anyone any limiting beliefs. I personally don't necessarily believe in the concept of twin flames anymore or soulmates. I personally believe that anybody, you can manifest anything that you want, that we live in infinite realities, and anyone can be your selected soulmate. However, the idea of a soulmate or the idea of a divine match can actually be very useful as an assumption when you want to manifest an ideal partner into your life, and perhaps you're single, perhaps you absolutely don't even know where to look. And I'm telling you, with this affirmation, you don't even have to look. In the moment that is asked, it's always given. And in the moment that you are going to repeat this affirmation, the universe, your subconscious mind, your unconscious mind is going to conspire, because the universe is you, and it's going to move you in the right situation to meet this special person. Now, there are some differences I do understand between the teachings of Florence Scovel Shin and Neville Goddard. However, for the sake of this video, otherwise it will be too long, I am going to make a video on Patreon where I'm going to explain you the difference between Neville Goddard and Florence Scovel Shin, why they are different, because Florence Scovel Shin talks more about the divine plan and leaving it up to God, and Neville Goddard is very much more about strict law of assumption. Whatever you want, you can create, you just have to imagine. However, the two teachings actually, in my opinion, are true, and they don't have to necessarily collide, but you can use them both depending on your situation, as long as they serve you. Sometimes I had to use Neville Goddard teaching and manifest specific things because I had a specific desires. Some other times I really love to live it up to God and to live it up to the divine plan in order for me to see the unexpected and to step into the unknown. And actually, the most important and more cherished manifestation that I had in my life were when I stepped into the unknown and I lived it up to infinite intelligence. Not even mentioning that this particular technique is much more effortless than any others that you have probably tried, since you only have to say one affirmation. And I am very much into fast and effortless manifestation. I am lazy. I don't like to, do a lot of techniques, so put myself into a lot of processes, because I literally do believe that once it's asked, it is given. So, Florence Scovel Shin, and I'm going to quote her, and by the way, I am quoting her for the book Your Word is Your Wand, believed that we do have a divine plan, that we do have a divine match, and when we leave it up to God, like I said, the universe, God, infinite intelligence is going to conspire to move us into the right situation. And now, this is not necessarily related to love. However, I did this when it comes down to my life purpose and my career. I was in a point a couple of years ago where I was very lost about what I needed to do as a work, and I was exhausted of manifesting specific outcomes. So I left it up to God, and I said, you know what, God, show me the way. I already have my perfect job, my perfect career, my perfect amount of money. And it did happen. When I did that, after a couple of weeks, I realized what I really wanted to do. I created this new channel, and the rest is history. And I am super grateful that the universe moved me into certain ideas and into certain circumstances that got me to awaken to a better life purpose and to a better content that I'm now making today. So I'm super happy about that. And that is another example of the fact that sometimes you just have to step out of the way, and it's just gonna work without you having to really work with your subconscious mind or put in any effort. Like, everything is already done. Creation is finished. Everything that you actually deeply desired is already yours. You sometimes have to allow it to happen. And especially when it comes down to new love. Now, this technique, or actually this affirmation, has nothing to do with making a love list. I used to advise people to make a love list, and it works. I did that as well. All techniques actually work. But what I found with making a love list about your ideal partner, it really depends on who you are as a person. Now, some of us have really specific needs, and some of us really know what they want because they have been into troubled relationship and they just have a specific desire. So if that is you, probably making a love list with the values and qualities, even aesthetic qualities that you want in a person, might be best for you. However, what I personally noticed when I used to do love list for myself, and I used to manifest people exactly in the way that I described, somehow, some way, I was always manifesting the same type of relationship, because subconsciously the list that I was making, it was a slight improvement from the relationship that I had before. So I noticed that I was very much influenced by even the aesthetic qualities of that person. Like, I wanted to basically recreate the same person slightly better. There's nothing wrong if you want to do that. However, I came up to a point where I was always manifesting with the love list. I was always like, he has to be tall, dark, and handsome, and he has to have these qualities. And I always manifested exactly what I wanted in that love list. But at the time when I got what I wanted, I realized that maybe it's not what I need. Maybe there was something lacking. There was something that it wasn't surprising me anymore. So I tried to step into the unknown, to meet people and to meet partners or situation that were out of my control. I really wanted to surrender completely to the process of manifestation. And that is when this affirmation comes about, because sometimes we think that we want something, and I'm not meaning to give you any limiting beliefs. I'm just, it's just my opinion, it's just my experience. Take it only if it resonates with you, okay? There's nothing, if you don't agree with me, it's fine. Just be respectful in the comment section and we can learn from each other. But sometimes I think that we have to realize that our higher self knows better. Our higher self is connected to the fourth dimension, where all infinite possibilities exist at once, and already knows who is your divine partner or your ideal partner, without you necessarily have to consciously know or consciously put the effort into thinking about all the qualities that you want. Sometimes when you just surrender, your subconscious, your higher self knows better. And it can surprise you, and it can give you someone that perhaps you would never think about, that is actually 10 times better than what you have experienced so far. And that is when this technique comes about, this affirmation comes about. Now, I want to read the words of Florence Scovel because I have been married before, and I'm telling you, there is some truth to what she's saying. I know that many of you guys are very stuck into manifesting a specific person, changing a specific person. I've done that. I created a course for that. It's totally possible. You can change anybody. You can manifest any specific person that you want. However, I think you come to a point of spiritual maturity sometimes where you just want, again, to be surprised by manifestation. And hear me out, because I really think, after all my experience, I'm 32 years old right now, I think that she has a point, and I just want you to open up to this point, not necessarily agree to it if you don't, but just open your mind and try to see if this resonates or not. So specifically in Your Word is a Wand, in the chapter about marriage, she talks about marriage, but honestly, even if you don't want to manifest marriage, this could be literally applied for companionship, partnership, or finding your ideal partner. And so she goes like this: unless marriage is built upon the rock of oneness, it cannot stand. I highly agree with this. Unless two people are equal in thoughts, and the marriage is not sustainable unless the both parties understand oneness. Two souls with but a single thought, two hearts that beat as one. I totally agree with this, and she makes you understand what it means to have someone that is in alignment with their self, and you are in alignment with yourself, and the same thought process goes about. So thought transmission is a lot easier in that way, or at least in my opinion it's easier, and it's the manifestation of this ideal partner is really effortless because you guys were meant to be together already, because you are in the same vibrational length. And I know that we create our destiny, but I do believe in alignment. I do believe that two people sometimes find each other when they are in alignment, and sometimes they can break up because their thought process are any longer in alignment. The poet understood this, for unless man and wife are living the same thoughts or living in the same thought world, because everything is mind, they must inevitably drift apart, which it happened to me, and this is so true. And she also gives an example of why people sometimes drift apart. And I know that we create this. Yes, you can change it if you want your ex back. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying that you cannot. I'm just saying some people do want to move on. Some people out there want to manifest new love in an effortless way. Some people out there want to manifest someone brand new, and there is nothing wrong with that. So please don't judge people for their desires, okay? Thought is a tremendous vibratory force, and man is drawn to his thought creation because everything is mind. For example, a man and a woman married and were apparently happy. The man became successful and his taste improved. But the wife still lived in a limited consciousness, which is exactly what happened to me, to be honest. I don't want to talk about my ex-husband, but this is literally what happened to me. Whenever the man bought anything, he went to the best shops and selected what he needed regardless of the price. Whenever the wife went out, she hunted the 5 and 10 cent stores. He was living in thought on Fifth Avenue, and her thought world was on Third Avenue. Eventually, they break and separation came. We see this so often in the cases of rich and successful men. Now, we have to consider the time where Florence was living. We could say we see this often in the cases of rich and successful women who desert their faithful, hardworking wives later on in life, or their faithful, hardworking men later on in their life, consider the time she was living. So basically, people have to keep pace with the other person's taste and ambitions and live in this thought world, for where a man think in his heart, there is he. Now, I know that this sounds like a very outdated example, but I think what Florence Scovel-Shinn the point that she wanted to come across is that people need to be on the same thought pattern and on the same vibratory frequency and alignment. Now, that man could have changed that wife if he wanted to with the law of assumption 100%. And Florence doesn't mention that. However, we only take this paragraph not necessarily to dissect this particular story, but we take this paragraph just to understand that you can manifest an ideal partner effortlessly, and you can manifest someone that has all the qualities that you want without even thinking about it, because you leave it up to infinite intelligence, and you can manifest someone that will feel like it's meant for you, because in the moment that you will meet this person, your thoughts will be so aligned that once you speak to this person, you will understand each other. You will be on the same page on everything. It will be like, I don't know, they're singing and you love to sing, or it doesn't feel like a competition. It feels like you guys are building something together. They really like you, you like them. There is like the general chemistry that is born because of this alignment, that is born because of this thought form. And you could meet this person in unexpected circumstances, and you do not have to seek for it. This person, like, the event will just show up, and it will show up in matters of, like, for me, it always shows up in matters of a week maximum, but it shows up like really quickly because you just surrender and leave it up to infinite intelligence. So, what Florence also says, there is for each person is other half or divine selection. Now, I personally don't believe in the other half. I personally believe that we are whole and complete just within ourselves, and that is part of alignment. However, I think it's so cute to use this sort of assumption in order to manifest an ideal partner. And I don't think that there is anything wrong if you want to use the concept of soulmate to help out with your manifestation, and just daydream about the fact that there is someone out there for you, and the universe will just deliver it to you. There is nothing wrong in having that assumption. It actually helps you with your expectations and with your manifestation. So depending on your situation, you decide what assumptions to have and the assumption that serves you. So it's beautiful, isn't it? These two are one in their thought worlds. I completely agree, because I had this experience. When you meet someone that is completely in alignment with your thought world, you do not have to change them. You do not have to put any effort to change or manifest a specific person. It will just be effortless. Like, that person is ready for you, and you are ready for them, and you are ready, and you off you go. And that is what many people want when it comes down to finding an ideal partner. They want someone that gets them. They want someone that the conversation are never ending and they're inspiring, and you guys get each other, and even the looks go just like that. You don't even care anymore about the aesthetics, and then you realize, actually, I really like this person. Or maybe the universe has such an intelligence that will just make you meet even the person that aesthetically is just perfect for you, and you guys connect on every single level. I think that is what she meant. Okay, these two are one in their thought worlds. These are the two whom God has joined together, and no man shall or even can part asunder. Ascender. I don't know how to say this in English, but this is so beautiful, because when you do this sort of affirmation, you remove any third parties from the equation. Like, what Florence Scovel Shinn is saying over here is that when you do this affirmation, you're gonna get a partner that will only want you, and it won't even be a thought to be with anyone else. It won't even be a thought that there are obstacles. It won't even be a thought that someone can not make you guys be together. And I want this for people. I want effortless manifestation when it comes down to love, especially when you want to meet someone new. And sometimes, even with specific people, you have to remind yourself to say this affirmation: I cannot be divided from the undivided one, therefore I cannot be divided from my love. Therefore, there cannot exist any seemingly obstacle. There cannot exist any third parties. There is no one else. There is no one else out there trying to take away what belongs to me in the first place. And abundance and love belong to everyone as a birthright, okay? So I want to read this again, because I personally love this little chapter about finding an ideal partner. Whom God has joined together, these are the two whom God has joined together, and no man shall or even can part asunder. They can part apart. They can, I'm not English. I'm so sorry about that. So she also goes to say, the twain shall be made one, which sounds like even a spell, like the sentence, the twain shall be made one. For in the superconscious mind of each is the same divine plan. So now that we have given some premises about this entire concept of finding an ideal partner, are you ready to do this affirmation? Because I'm telling you, if you start the day, in matter of weeks, you are going to meet a very special person, and it's going to feel fated. And I mean fated because you're going to meet this person like, I don't know, like, let's say that you are at home. And I remember I had one client one time, and I gave her this affirmation, and she said, I am not doing anything. I'm always at home. When am I going to find this ideal partner if I never go out? And I said, it doesn't matter, because the infinite intelligence has a way to make people enter your life. And it was so sweet, because after a couple of weeks, she wrote to me and she said, it worked because now my boyfriend is my neighbor. I had this guy that randomly just moved himself into the apartment next to me. We started chit-chatting, and I didn't even have to move a finger. I didn't even have to move away from my house. And now we are boyfriend and girlfriend. That it was so sweet. Other thing that could happen, let's say that you don't want to go out, or you're just living your life, and a friend of yours is like, oh, let's take a trip this place. And you're like, I don't even want to go there. Like, I don't care about going to the city or in vacation over there. And you're just like, you go because you love your friends, and then you're there, and after a circumstance of events, you meet someone completely unexpectedly, and you weren't even thinking about meeting anybody. That's the sort of circumstances that are going to happen to you after you say this affirmation, and it's going to be beautiful, I'm telling you, because it will be stepping into the unknown, and it will be very unexpected. And especially what I love the most is going to be very effortless, much more effortless than making a love list. So what is this affirmation that I did and I make other people do as well, that I know for a fact it works? It is this one. You can even write it down in the comment section if you want to. I give thanks, so an act of appreciation. I give thanks that the marriage made in heaven is now made manifest upon earth. Now, if you're not interested necessarily in marriage, or you don't want someone that is into marriage, you can even transform this and say, I give thanks that my divine partner or my divine union made in heaven is now made manifest upon earth. Why do we want to use heaven? Why do we want to use divine? Because necessarily this is not about being religious, but it's about aligning to our higher self, our highest good, and it's about really telling our subconscious mind, I'm only going to settle down for the best in the most harmonious and graceful and effortless way possible. So when we think about heaven, even on a subconscious level, we think about everything that we want. We think about the ideal partner. We think about the ideal joy, the ideal happiness. That's why, in my opinion, she's using heaven and she's using divine in order, if you believe in God, great. If you don't, she's using divine to address, obviously, ideal, to address, obviously, the superconscious mind. So I'm going to repeat this sentence again. I give thanks that the marriage made in heaven is now made manifest upon earth. Then she also goes, and I want you to also say this affirmation, the twain shall be made one. Now, so right now is going to get manifested, and for all eternity, now and forever, we are together. Now and forever, if it's true love, really nothing can drift us apart. And then if you get triggered in the process of waiting, I also suggest to do another Florence Scovel Shinn affirmation, which is, I'm in perfect harmony with the working of the law. I stand aside and let infinite intelligence make easy and successful my way. Unfortunately, we do have, as a society at large, this program in our mind where we think that we always have to do homeworks, we always have to put hard work in order to get something. The law doesn't work this way. It's not about putting effort. It's about vibrating to the frequency of the wish fulfilled, which means, in other words, to feel that once it's asked, it is given. Once it's asked, it is already done, and there is no effort that you have to do. There is no action that you have to take unless it's inspired action. I will make a different video about the difference between forcing the 3D and making inspired action. But literally, there is nothing that you have to do. Because yes, okay, you have to take an action. Let's say you go on a trip and you meet someone, but that is not necessarily an action to force the 3D. You're not going out seeking for your ideal partner. You're going out with your friends having fun. It's a different attitude. It's a different behavior. It's an action, but it's not you're not calculating the steps to get to what you want. You are just going with the flow. That is the difference. So I'm in perfect harmony with the working of the law. I stand aside, so you completely surrender and you trust and choose faith that your subconscious mind knows what it's doing and knows exactly what you want and knows the perfect and divine way to deliver it to you. So I stand aside and let infinite intelligence make easy and successful my way, which is similar to what Neville Goddard used to say, stop discussing how things are going to come to you. Just trust that they have to, because it is spiritual law. So this affirmation, the twain shall be made one, now and for all eternity. I give thanks for my marriage made in heaven that is now manifested upon earth, has worked wonders. I personally love to use Florence Scovel Shinn and to step into the unknown. And I do advise to do this affirmation when you wake up in the morning as the first sentence that you literally say or think, and drifting to bed. And then during the day, just live through the law of expectation, through the expectancy that all good comes your way, and through the expectancy that once is asked, it is given. It's like doing a spell, and it is done, just like magic. Okay, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know and come back to this video to tell me your stories. Comment down below if you ever used this affirmation. I think it works wonders, and I am so thrilled, and I'm expecting to hear all your success stories down below. I see you very soon on this channel as well as on Patreon. I love you guys. Bye.